Here are 4 outcomes from the No Kings Rally 2 protest that took place yesterday, Saturday, October 18th, in cities across various different states, United States, and in various different nations around the globe. In response to people who say nothing happened from the hands-off protest, No Kings won, and they don't think anything's going to come of the No Kings 2 protest.
Millions turned out across the country today for a coordinated day of protest against President Donald Trump and his administration's policies. Organizers expected more than 2,600 No Kings rallies in big cities and small towns across all 50 states and some European capitals, including Paris, London, Madrid, and Berlin. A similar event in June brought out more than 5 million demonstrators across the country, but this time organizers said the mobilization was even bigger.
And here's the estimated 7 million people showed up. First of all, it shows to the Republicans and Donald Trump that the United States citizens and the residents are not going to lay down and accept the attempted authoritarian dictatorial coup and dismantling of the United States government as representative democracy and republic as we have come to know and love it. But true authoritarianism in countries where there's no First Amendment, there's no dissent, where the courts have actually capitulated on top of, where they don't have pushback from the courts and judiciary, there is no dissent. There are no protests. People just accept that that is their life. And so one thing happened yesterday is that we're not accepting that. And you know why they were trying to get people to stay home? They wanted to stifle dissent because there were so many Republicans, operatives, Donald Trump on TV, on the news, Mike Johnson, Carolyn Levitt insisting that the protesters are pro-Hamas. They said we're terrorists. They said we're criminals. They said we're immigrants. They said George Soros paid for it. They said it's foreign influence. They said we were paid. Every single thing to try to discredit it and to discourage people to show up. You know what? People showed up anyway. So because of that, you know that was successful. 7 million, the largest ever in United States history. That's something. And so that's the first thing to accomplish. It solidifies their fighting, and we're not going to just lay down and accept what they're trying to give us. And they require us to be required. So that's why whenever I see folks in my comment section saying this is a dictatorship, it's a coup, we're cooked, we'll never have elections again, all these things, all these defeatist things that you guys say, and a lot of different people say, is you're feeding right into their hands. They require you. That's why sometimes I ask people, are you a bot? Are you working for Russia? Because it is, and you're disempowered, that's fine, but shh. Just share that with your people inside your house. Stop going out and trying to encourage people and spreading that, because they require that. So that is one thing, is it disrupts and dismantles and shows that we are not going to just like dissent. The people are not scared. People are going to stand up and use their voice. So that's the first thing. The second thing, you know, it pissed off Donald Trump. Last night, he got Barron out of bed to go make some really disgusting, ridiculous AI video of him in a plane dropping like poop on protesters, including one stupid and really childish. It's like, are you a knuckle-dragging gorilla? That's what the image that came to mind is a gorilla in a cage that's just throwing his poop on people because he's just like manic, and that's what it is. It triggered that manic. The man is dementia ridden. I don't like to make fun of dementia because my dad actually has onset of dementia, so, and my mother-in-law actually has Alzheimer's, so I don't really want to like make light of it, but it's true that Donald Trump, during the evenings, that's when he does his truth socialing that's off the that's unhinged, and he loves rallies. During the 2020 election cycle, that's why he could not believe he lost, because his rallies were so big. And MAGA didn't believe he lost because his rallies were so big. He went to a assembly on a military base, and he's called it a rally, and that's against the law because military is apolitical. You're not supposed to be pushing any political agenda or anything like that and saying this is like a rally. And it's a rally. He loves loud, large crowds coming to see him. He feeds off of that. And so to see so many people come against him, to see such large rallies, really pissed him off. And it's not just about pissing him off. You know what it is? It's for his base. He needs his base to think that he is strong. How do we know that? We got a taste of that because when Pam Bondi got that DM that was actually published, when Donald Trump published it, in the DM telling Pam Bondi to hurry up and prosecute his political enemies, he said, we're looking weak. This is not good. He wants to be a strong man, like all the dictators that Donald Trump has shown, Kim Jong-un, Putin, that rule over nations that where the populace do not push back. They just accept it. They are done. They're cooked. They are really cooked. We are not cooked. So it shows him being weak. A lot of MAGAs were in my comments yesterday. I was in a block spree, either them or bots, and they were saying things like, these are old people. These aren't real protesters. All these things shows he's weak. They cannot stand him being weak. They require him to look strong. And so yesterday showed that it's him. Again, I always tell people there's more of us than them. If anything, yesterday should have showed you guys there are more of us than them. The total people who are like running things, who are crazy, who are Donald Trump loyalists, number 2,000. 7 million people showed up. 165 million people did not vote for Donald Trump. He didn't even win the over 50% of the popular vote. He won the popular vote, but he didn't win about over 50%. And I always tell people, in every single swing state, Donald Trump won by less than 200,000 votes. In each of those swing states, 1 million people sat out. So imagine if only a few percentage of those 1 million sat out actually came and voted for Kamala Harris, we wouldn't be experiencing this. So that just tells you the extent that it's fragile. So the second thing it accomplished, it showed that Donald Trump does not indeed have a mandate. It proved to the world that he's ruling over the minority. He's only ruling to please the 22% of the people who were MAGA when he started, and we already know that a lot of the MAGA base is eroding, and he's terrorizing the majority of the country. 176.5 million people that did not vote for him. All these states. He shows utter disdain for America. He only cares about a small segment of America. The rest of us, he does not care about. So yesterday showed that he does not have a mandate. It put a pin in that. And yeah, so that brings me to the third point. Donald Trump relies on the rest of the world believing that he is doing and acting on behalf of the American people. When he goes and tries to strong arm these other countries with his trade policies, he says the American people put me here. I have a mandate. He really did go into thinking that he had a mandate, even though, as I mentioned in the numbers, he didn't have the majority. And I don't think he understands that. But that's what they have to tell themselves. The same way when they are asked, Donald Trump's Sarah gets asked on the news, what do they think about it? The reason why they call us names is because they can't say anything about why we're protesting. They can't respond. They can't say anything about the ICE policies, brutalizing people who are here legally, coming through the process, going to immigration courts, not illegal criminals. They can't say anything about the economy, that the inflation is going up. He's done nothing about the food prices. Everything's going up. It's tanking. The soldiers and bread lines, people are upset. Economy is terrible. They can't say anything about that. That's why we're protesting. And since they can't respond to the protesting, they have nothing but to call us names. And the fact that that's all they have tells us also why it's a win, because internationally we have disarmed a big argument that Donald Trump has made to the international community, that he's doing this on behalf of the American people, that he's popular. It shows he's not as popular. He doesn't have the leverage. We zip that underneath him. I know people might say, well, he's acting on behalf of the American people, but he's doing something that we didn't have to ask for. His trade policy is causing farmers to go bankrupt. He's sending $40 billion while trying to take away health care, sending it to Argentina to bail out the Argentinian nation. He's a big, He just recently, I just read that he gave $140-something million for private jets for Kristi Noem. He's building a big ballroom, an arc in D.C., wasting money. All these lawsuits are expensive because he's losing them, and we have to pay the lawyers' fees for the people who have to sue him to get their rights back. So he's just wasting money. In the beginning of this administration, Elon Musk was talking about waste, fraud, and abuse. We've seen nothing but waste, fraud, and abuse, and corruption from this administration from the beginning. If you have enough money, he will let you out of jail. He will do all sorts of stuff. So, yeah. We ripped out a huge leverage bargain trip and showed the world internationally he's not. The world already laughs at him. Other leaders already laughed at him. We've seen the clips before. If you haven't, go Google them. So it just further shows that he does not have control, and he's leading over a nation that does not like him, that despise him and cannot wait to get rid of him, and are just biding our time till we get rid of him and end his administration. So that's the third thing, that it rips that up. And the fourth and final thing that the No Kings rally protest proved is it showed the Republicans in Congress that time is ticking, that this ship that they have hooked themselves on is sinking fast. It's a reminder, because right now the Republicans in Congress are the ones that allow Donald Trump to tear up the Constitution and violate all of the First Amendment, all of the Bill of Rights, the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, 10th Amendment, 14th Amendment, balance of power. He's usurping their own rights and their authorities and just essentially going through a tear. He said during his first term, and he also said during the campaign that he wanted to rip up the Constitution. He joked about being a dictator on day one. He did not place his hand on the Bible because he knew coming in, he and Project 2025 and the authoritarian techno bros that are puppeteering Peter Thiel and those guys, this dismantling of the United States government, that he had no interest in us in ruling over the American people. He was only interested in ruling and pleasing 22% of the population. He's doing all of this for his MAGA base, which is eroding fast. So that's a sign to you people, Republicans. It's chipping away already. Marjorie Taylor Greene, albeit I do believe that she's pissed that Donald Trump tried to squash her aspirations of becoming the governor and running for the governor of Georgia. So she's pushing back, but also she has actually finally some people like contenders. And I think she's realizing that Donald Trump's reign is coming to an end. So she and others and who used to, including like Bill O'Reilly said some pushbacks recently. You've seen Tucker Carlson pushback recently. You've seen a lot of Republicans actually coming up and saying the truth, and that's showing that there is chipping away. And it's signaling to the others, like, look at here, these are your constituents. Those people rallying were not just Democrats. They were not just independents. They were Republicans. They were principal Republicans. They were Reagan Republicans. They were George W. Bush Republicans. They're former MAGA Republicans that do not like what Donald Trump has done these past 10 months. And those are the people in their constituents. Those are the people who showed up at the town halls. Those people once activated. And what this rally does is activates people to be empowered. It starts the process of getting more people to show up to vote. I have a campaign called Operation 2/3 where I'm trying to get 2/3 of the folks in Congress to be Democrats or independents, remove Donald Trump before, and so we don't have to do 4 years of this. And it starts with us getting voter turnout from 18% to 50% to more. Once the Republicans in Congress start seeing voter turnout being high, they know we have activated those 90 million people that sat out. If we could activate them as to local elections, mayoral, school boards, special elections, and we activate them. Once activated, you cannot put that genie back in the bottle. And once they know we've activated, they know their jobs is on the line. Donald Trump is on his way out. He's 79 years old. He even recently mentioned, like, when I'm gone, there'll be no one here to protect them. He said that. So he realizes that an end is near for him. So when someone realizes the end is near for them and they're 79, that's your sign, Republicans, that this is over. If you are done with the Congress, if you plan to have a long career in Congress, you need to unhitch your wagon from Donald Trump now. So that's the fourth thing accomplished. It should give a signal to the Republicans in the Congress that we're serious, we're mean business, and we've activated that. We've energized those people. And so we're not stopping. And we're coming for your job. So we can do this the hard way or the easy way. The easy way is for you to just get some extra security, because we know MAGA's violent. No matter what they say, trying to blame the leftists. It's kind of the leftists. We protest. We're wearing duck and frog suits. You know, when we're upset, we actually go through the final process. We don't get who was the person. Butler was a Republican. Was according to what we know. We hear there's not us. All the violence that's shown, it's you guys. So because they're violent, just get whatever security that Stephen Miller has, whatever security that Kristi Noem has, whatever security Kash Patel, they all got extra private security because they know they're unpopular. And so you just hire some extra security for a while and just remove him. That's the fourth thing. Now, I also want to say something about the absence of black people. That is by design, and people keep saying, where are the black people? I hope you guys know now, we have to sit out. Why? Because us being there plays straight into the propaganda. They need black bodies because to a lot of the people who are fearful of us, they need our bodies. When they see us, they see violence, they see chaos, they see like just ruckus, and they're scared. They remember George Floyd movement. The reason why George Floyd movement blowback happened is because they were able to use those footage. That footage is so effective that Fox News infused some of Portland's protest movement from 2020 in their footage. That's the footage that Donald Trump saw when he went and ordered his troops to go to Portland to protect his ICE facilities. He was watching altered footage that included 2020 from Fox News of propaganda.
Is unbelievable what's going on in Portland. The destruction of the city. Well, I'm going to look at it now because I didn't know that was still going on. This has been going on for years. So we'll be able to stop that very easily. We'll be able to stop it. But, you know, that was not on my list, Portland, but when I watched television last night, this has been going on. You wouldn't be standing if you were the mayor. You would be. Can you imagine what they're doing? They're walking in throwing smoke bombs into the store. These are paid terrorists, okay? These are paid agitators. These are professional. I watched that last night. I'm very good at this stuff. These are paid agitators. They get paid money by radical left groups, not radical right groups, radical left groups. And they get paid a lot of money. And you see it with the signs. You know, they all have perfect signs that are printed. They look as good as that sign. Those signs aren't made in basements. They're made at professional printing offices, and they cost a lot of money. These are paid agitators, and they're very dangerous for our country. And when we go there, if we go to Portland, we're going to wipe them out. They're going to be gone, and they're going to be gone fast. They won't even stand the fight. They will not stay there. They've ruined that city. I have people that used to live in Portland. They've left. Most of them have left. But what they've done to that place is it's like living in hell. Yeah, go ahead. Thank you for your statement before.
It was a propaganda. The White House actually, when they were trying to justify Donald Trump going in, used footage from George Floyd movement. The Republicans in Oregon used footage from another country, a country full of people of color, their protests to say this was going on in Portland. They need our bodies showing on the streets to scare their audiences. So that's why it's best that we weren't there. It goes against their propaganda. They've been saying that these are protesters, these are violent, these are thugs. When they see just white bodies, for the most part, look like teachers and doctors and nurses and social workers and construction workers and all sorts of regular people that looks like their neighbors, that look like the family of the MAGA, it breaks up their propaganda, and that's it for them. They need our bodies there, so that's why we can't be there. So stop asking us to be there. We're helping you by not being there because we can cheer on. Like, I actually went just to do some journalistic, some filming and things like that, but there were not a lot of us, and that's by design, and so it's good. That's a great thing. So let me wrap this up. To wrap this up, it seems like it won because it proved that we're not sitting silent. It dismantled and discredited Donald Trump's power and authority and what he believes is a mandate. He shows that the American people are not with him. It told that to the international community. It removed some leverage that he's had. It also disempowered him so much that it signals to the Republicans and Congress that they need to get on our side and abandon the Trump and the MAGA, because the MAGA's on its way out. And then finally, it proved that we are standing for it. We're not going silent in that dear night, that we are standing united. And it also, hopefully, it empowered people who believe that Donald Trump has more power than he has, that it's more of us, that we're protesting, and that they're fearful of him. And he's lashing out because he doesn't want us to have power, because once we get more power, that's the end of him, because he's going to get impeached. If we get enough people, he gets convicted. We start the process. Once we show and reveal what he did in Palm Beach, when he said Palm Beach was a different time back then, once we revealed what he did, we will see to what extent the Republicans and the remaining MAGAs that are still on him continue to ride with him when they see what he did. And he knows what he did. He knows what he did. I'm not saying what he did. I'm not saying I know what he did. That's a suspicion. And we know the fact that he's going all these routes to remove it. He did some shit. So I hope that gives you some encouragement. Share this video for anyone who says, what did it accomplish? If you're interested to want to support my work here, I'm JJ Legal. I'm in the dockets. What you could do is just share this video with someone else you know. Follow and subscribe. Free. If you want to make sure you get my videos, you can go to jjlegal.com and sign up for my newsletter, and that'll put me straight in your inbox, because who knows what goes on with these, what's going to happen with the social media platforms. And if you want something in return for your support, you can get some of my merch. This is my Each One Teach One mug. This is my fan of, I think it's either voting rights. You can get my big fan of free speech. I am human. You can check out the various different things here that I have at jjlegal.com. You can also purchase my Know Your Rights card, my case trackers, or templates to support me as well. Each One Teach One. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to put a playlist here, and I would love for you to binge one of my playlists to find all of Donald Trump's legal L's for the week. JJ Legal, Each One Teach One. Stay strong, and we're going to get rid of this guy. I promise you. And the fact that I can say that is also signs that we don't have authoritarianism, because we still have free speech. We still have pushback. Other countries, true authoritarian countries, don't have that. I know he's pushing against it, but we still have it.